everybody, this is Jay the Nerd. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get all the nerdy content you ever need every Wednesday and Saturday. Now today, we're going to be continuing our Supernatural Season 15 episode reviews. And this last Thursday's episode was quite interesting. It was another one of those filler with some meaningful plot points in it, but it felt mostly filler. Which I understand because they're trying to lead up to something big and they got to take their time. But anyways, basically, Dean and Sam go to find Amara in Atlantic City to try and lure her to them basically so that they can kill her, because they have to strike a balance. If they kill God, they also have to kill the darkness, because light and dark, one can't exist without the other kind of thing. So they go and find her in Atlantic City. And because Jack doesn't really want to be there by himself, bored with Cass, they decide to look up on this case of this guy who was found dead in the alley, who was in this church group. And so we follow this church group, and basically it's this church group that does charity work with the homeless and things like that. And Cass and Jack go there and pretend to be FBI agent, Agent Swift, and Agent Lovato, because apparently Cass can only think of FBI names that have to do with pop stars. With, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z and all that stuff that they were doing before that. And it's really funny to see Jack kind of mimic Cass and be like, I want matching ties. Like, it was really cute father-son moment. And this episode had a lot of, like, cute Cass and Jack things in it, which I really appreciated, because I love the whole father-son thing. Because even though Sam and Dean, I guess, are his dads, too, Cass really seems to be the most dad with Jack. They have, like, a special bond or whatever. And so that was cute to see. And basically it seems that a bunch of people from this church group are being murdered for committing sins or whatever. Like, the first guy was called a liar, was written on his body after he gave this soup to this homeless woman, even though he didn't want to. And then one of them was being hurt because she stole money from the donation box, and so on and so on. And it's kind of a storyline we've seen similarly in the show before and other supernatural related shows, of people punishing people for sins in some way. So that's a pretty typical plot point in those kind of shows. Doesn't mean that I didn't like it. It was just like, I've seen it before. But anyways, Jack joins the church group, which I found to be fucking hilarious, because he's the fucking son of Lucifer joining the church group. And no one knows that he's the son of Lucifer. And originally I was suspicious of the pastor guy, but he didn't turn out to be the bad guy. But anyway, it was pretty funny, all the moments where Cass and Jack got to watch these people pray to God and worship God and talk about how God's going to help and blah, 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 when both Jack and Cass know that in this show, God is an asshole who doesn't care about anyone and only cares about his own entertainment. And it was just really funny to see that. And the moment where they're asking for Jack's testimony and Cass steps in and does his, because obviously, like, what Jack's supposed to say, I'm the son of Lucifer and I'm gonna kill God? No. So Cass steps in and basically says that he's had issues with his faith, which is really interesting to see an angel talk about, because I feel like we've never really gotten a moment for Cass to talk about how he's an angel of the Lord and is now helping to kill God, and how that makes him feel, and finding out that God isn't this amazing thing that he always worked for his entire life. Like, this whole idea of an angel of God stepping away and all these things is just an really interesting concept in this show. And I feel like that they haven't really taken the time to address how Cass really feels about all of it, because they've just been moving. And I really appreciated them going with that and talking about how, like, he's had issues with his faith, but he found faith again in his family, and he has faith in Sam and Dean and Jack, and how faith is more than just believing in a God. You can have faith in your friends and your family and faith in other things. And that I loved that. And just like Cass talking about his family and how much he loves his family was just everything to me. And how talking about being a father to Jack, it was very sweet. And the Amara and Dean stuff was really interesting too, because like Dean and Amara obviously have this connection that draws them to each other, to the point where Dean was actually willing to convince Amara that they just wanted her help. And it honestly made me a little sad, them having to trick her, because she's a really interesting character, and I feel like she's gotten better. Obviously, she's not, attempting to destroy the world anymore, and I kind of feel bad that they had to trick her. But honestly, Dean was the only person that could do that. And so basically they got her to consider helping them. Obviously, her not knowing that they're actually going to kill her, which, ugh. But they found out at the end of the episode that it was the daughter of the pastor who was the murderer. And at the end, they saw this crossroad demon in the cop car thing that they didn't address. But anyways, at the end, Jack revealed that basically everything he's been doing with Billy is leading him to become a bomb, essentially, that's going to kill God. And so when God dies, so will Jack. And Cass is like, no. And of course, Jack wants him to keep it a secret from Sam and Dean. And haven't they learned already that keeping secrets is always bad? Literally every single time Dean gets mad at Cass, it's because he lied in some way, and lying gets you nowhere. But basically, Cass at the end says to Dean that he's going to find another way to stop God, and that he has something he needs to tell Dean. And I really, really and it cut off at that point. And I really hope that Cass is going to tell him about Jack wanting to be a bomb, and that not wanting to be a bomb, but that Jack is a bomb and will die when God dies. I really hope that Cass has learned not to lie to Dean anymore, because in the beginning of season 15, they literally had the worst blowout fight possible because of that, and different things like that, and going against Dean and all that. And I really hope that Cass has learned something and he won't do that anymore, and that what he's going to tell Dean is about Jack, so that they can all help. But I don't like the idea of Cass just disappearing for a few episodes. And also, I'm really worried that whatever Cass's plan ends up being is going to get Cass killed instead. Which I guess would be a pretty beautiful ending for Cass to sacrifice himself for the people he loves. But Cass is my favorite character, and I don't want him to go. But anyway, it was pretty filler for a lot of it, but there were some really sweet moments in it, and the ending of that episode was definitely a cliffhanger, and I really, really hope that I'm right, that Cass is just gonna tell Dean about Jack. Please, please, please. But anyways, that is all for now. I will see you on Saturday with a review of the movie Love and Monsters. Bye!